Alrighty guys, can we believe it? The Google Pixel 8a is on the horizon, and it feels like forever since I've talked about the Google Pixel, at least as the main topic of an episode, and I definitely want to get into the rumors and talk about this phone. But if you are an Apple user, you may want to stay till the end of the video, because what if I told you the all-screen iPhone with Face ID and everything under the display is now in development? Stay tuned to find out more. Alrighty, the first story, the main story of the day, the Google Pixel 8a. Now, before we get to the all-screen iPhone, let's talk about the Pixel 8a. Now, the A series has been a huge hit for Google, and it really was the line that pushed Google's phones into the forefront of the general consumers and also got people invested in the Pixel line. Well, according to several reports, it seems that yes, the 8a is on its way and is scheduled for 2024. However, though, there are a few tweaks and a few differences that are looking to be added to the phone, and we're going to talk about the most likely scenarios, and also based on some renders that we have, some first images, we could see that this phone is a more polished version of the A series, which, to be fair, a lot of the A series phones are always usually the case, but in regards to this one kind of feels very refined and almost flagship-like, at least based on the renders. According to reports, it says here that the 8a is set to be released in 2024, and the early glimpses of it shows a refined design with a curved corner, thicker bezels, which kind of resembles older iPhone models. Also shows that it will have a brand new Google Tensor G3, 8 gigabytes of RAM similar to the 7a. Minor changes could also include the brighter panel, but nothing really major is expected to happen. The only major exception that we have, according to some of these reports, is that the 8a is going to be more premium in terms of feel and in terms of the display technology. But other than that, it is going to be a much faster 90 Hz display. There are reports suggesting that it could get a 5-watt wireless charging feature. However, reports are also suggesting don't expect hope on that end, at least right away. On top of that, we also have some leaked wallpapers, which kind of give us a glimpse of how the phone is going to look. We also have some early beta models, and honestly, based on how this phone looks and seeing as how well Google has refined the A series, it's not out of the stretch of imagination to say that this phone is going to be a flagship-like phone, because it has flagship hardware and it can perform in a flagship level, but it also has areas where it cuts back in cost and also can refine itself for better value for consumers. Now, going on further, it is said that, of course, again, the 90 Hz refresh rate and 5 watts wireless charging are some of the two biggest additions that could happen, but reports are saying don't hold your breath on that. And then lastly, the last thing to talk about is, of course, the software support. According to several reports, it seems that the Pixel 8a is also going to get the same amount of software support as the Google Pixel 8, so this would be a very, very big addition to the A series and would increase its value and longevity and also its value with consumers. And then the final thing to talk about is the camera. Not much is expected to really change. It is still going to have a 64 megapixel main sensor. However, there is going to be a slight tweak in artificial intelligence. As we know, the Google Pixel 8 and 8 Pro did make that big force on artificial intelligence integrated with the software and hardware combined. So it seems they're going to keep that going. And then the last thing to expect is the price. It seems that, again, it is going to be sticking with its $500 price tag, but if it adds in a 90 Hz display or adds wireless charging, we could see a slight bump in the price, but nothing major of a sense where it will break over the $500 price tag. So taking all of that in for just a second, again, we're going to hear more and more as we get closer to the launch of the Pixel 8a, but I got to tell you something. You know, the Google Pixel 8a sounds to me more like a mid-range flagship than a mid-range phone. It doesn't even sound like a budget phone. This phone sounds like it is taking the best of the Pixel 8 and putting it in a form factor that is cheap and affordable for the consumers, but not having to rely on that word budget. And I think that that's why it has been successful, and I think that Google has hit its stride with not only the flagships, but also its mid-range. It delivers in every area. As a matter of fact, here guys, this is the 7A. I actually use this phone from time to time, and I will tell you, I sometimes struggle to find where the budget is in this thing because it feels premium to the touch, it feels premium in use, it feels and absolutely works like a great phone, and there are times when I would even contemplate using it as a backup camera. That's how good the quality is on these A-series phones. So for me, I am in the boat where, listen, the A-series is doing something right. It is working for everyone. And I think that this is going to be a big factor, especially going down in the long term. But again, there are still things we need to wait and hear. The biggest thing would be nice is the wireless charging and 90 hertz refresh rate. I would absolutely love to see that make its way over to the A-series, because if it was able to do that, then there really is no argument to be made that why Apple can't do that. Now, I understand Apple doesn't need to, Apple doesn't have to do anything. They own the market when it comes to the smartphones because statistically in the United States, Apple's iPhone is dominating. But if the mid-range, a $500 phone can put a 90 hertz refresh rate and give you wireless charging, you say what you want about the charging speed, it doesn't matter. The fact that you can put it in, I think that there is an argument to be made on Apple doing that on its own. But again, all in good time. But that is the rumors we have on the Pixel 8a. I will continue to update you guys as we hear more and more. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss when I upload. Now we got that out of the way, let's talk about that all-screen iPhone. And the last story, the final story of the day, is the all-screen iPhone. Now, this is a story that I never thought was going to happen. I didn't even think that Apple would work on something like this. But seeing as how a lot of the smartphone makers are trying to work on under-the-display technology, it was only a matter of time that Apple did this, and it looks like they are aiming to do this in the next 2 years. According to some of Apple's Korean suppliers, it says here that Apple is developing a smartphone with under-the-display cameras and will be making it the first iPhone with a true all-screen appearance. According to the Elect, the LG Innotek has entered the preliminary development of the under-display technology display. And also, while it is still in very early development, it seems that Apple is pushing for production to begin around the time of 2025 so that it will be ready by 2027. Now again, this is a lot of time that's going to be needed. This is just early development. So this is going to be a 3-year project that Apple is working on according to these reports. It goes on to further say that yes, LG will be using their published patents for this technology that Apple has already marketed and used. I've talked about this in previous episodes about how Apple has had a patent on under-the-display technology. Now, does this mean that under-the-display Touch ID is coming back? No. So don't expect that for any time soon. Stop hoping that's going to happen, but it would be nice to have if they ever did bring it back. But going further, it says here that again, the under-panel Face ID technology is reportedly supposed to be expected with the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. However, there are some reports that are conflicting, as it says it is still in the earliest of stages and that the most likely date that we're going to see this is 2027. And this is also backed up by Ross Young with the supply chain, because Ross Young is always spot on when it comes to the supply chain. So taking all of this in and knowing we're going into 2024 and seeing as how Apple has pretty much made the shift and lowered their camera size in terms of Face ID, gone in with the whole design of, as you know, I guess you could say, the dynamic island. If Apple was to make a full screen iPhone and have the dynamic island still be there, but the camera technology be at the bottom and you could turn that off, that would be probably the best iPhone in creation. And I think the fact that Apple is doing this, the fact that Apple wants to do this is very commendable, because this would truly give them a chance to be innovative again. I'm not saying that Apple isn't innovative. They innovate behind closed doors. They are not a company that makes beta features as innovation. They like to take their time, fail behind those closed doors before they publish it out and make it. So yes, they are late to the party, but when they do it, it is polished. It is not perfect, but it's close to perfect as you can get. So an all-true iPhone with screen, I think that that's something that I would love to see Apple do in 2027. I think that that is a more realistic time frame. I don't see them wanting to rush this, so I am absolutely all for it, and I cannot wait to see what comes of this project. But remember guys, this is very early development, so we will have to wait and see when we hear more about it. So again, I will update you when we hear more about it. But that is it for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know, what do you think of the 2 stories for today? If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you disliked the video, you can hit the dislike button. That helps circulate my videos as well. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all on the next episode. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care, stay safe, have a good day, and peace!